My name is Kimberly Gibson. I am a writing consultant or tutor, so I help people with their essays and papers. The most frequently used resource here is probably the tutoring for essays. People coming in wanting to get their papers looked over, to help take out mistakes and improve their writing. I think the benefits for freshmen are huge and invaluable because if they come here for tutoring on their early essays, they can really get into the habit of revising their papers and thinking about the way they structure their sentences. So this is a great resource for freshmen.
My name is Elise Matthews. I'm the graduate assistant director at the Writing Lab. A lot of freshmen are required to come in here with their composition classes, and a lot of them haven't had a whole lot of training in academic writing before they came here. So when they come in, they bring their papers in. We're able to help show them what their teachers are expecting when they haven't really been told that before. We use our online resources a lot too. We have a whole lot of worksheets that we've developed that all of our tutors will go to if a student has difficulty with commas or with a certain kind of citation or type of writing. We'll go in and get one of those worksheets for the student. So we go through those pretty quickly.
The most common challenge, part of it may be not knowing the terminology, not knowing how to talk about the mistakes they're making. So we can really help them identify some of these errors, and they can notice it later. And if you come to the Writing Lab, it's useful to talk about some of your old papers and look at corrections that professors have made, and we can start there and see how we can fix those issues and improve your future writing.
I mean, definitely coming in, sitting down with a tutor, having somebody else look over your work is the most helpful thing you can do, and that's something we all still do for each other. We pass our papers around, look at them. Just getting a fresh set of eyes is sometimes the best thing that you can do. It seems to be a really common problem, though, that a lot of students these days haven't had any formal training in grammar since early elementary school. So a lot of them don't have the tools, they don't have the language to understand the errors that they're making in their papers. And so that can be a challenge.
Well, here this is the undergrad lab. We have a separate graduate lab, and I think the people who use the undergraduate lab the most are freshmen or sophomores, though I've seen some students in the upper levels wanting to ask questions about their papers, but probably the freshmen get a lot of help.
We do have a whole lot of freshmen since there are a lot of requirements in the composition classes, so we probably see more freshmen because of that. But as far as people who just come in here without some kind of class requirement, I would say it's probably pretty equal. Our administrator would have a better idea of that. I know that before Dr. Rain took over, it was a much smaller operation, and I know that in the last few years we've been building volume. We've been seeing a whole lot more students. This semester we have expanded, and we now have a separate graduate lab, and we have tutors over at Discovery Park. So we're constantly growing, trying to become available to more parts of campus.
I am officially the director, and I guess in a sense I was kind of the creator. I took over 7 years ago, I believe it was, with 2 weeks notice because the former director retired unexpectedly, and at the time they had a policy of tutoring only undergraduates and hiring only undergraduates. So they had 4 tutors, and they tutored about 200 students a semester. So I came in and revamped it. We now have 16 tutors, and we tutor about 4,000 students a semester. Instructors in courses only have so much time to work with students individually, particularly if it's not a writing course. So let's say you're taking a history class, but you have to write a paper. The instructor of that course is going to spend most of his or her time actually teaching history, not teaching writing. So those students come here so that they can get the individual help they need with the actual writing piece of the course. Mostly I've just learned how important it is to listen to my students, because every student is an individual, every student has this individual problem, and every student learns differently. So the explanation that works for you is not necessarily the explanation that's going to work for somebody else in your class. So I've just learned you have to keep finding a new way to explain it until you find the way that works for that particular student. I don't have as much data as I would like, but we did actually track a group of students who were required to take developmental writing, and as part of that course they had to do 8 mandatory tutorials in the lab. Of the students who finished that course, 80% of the students who went on to freshman comp got an A or a B, and of that 80%, 60 got an A. So I think that speaks pretty highly of the service being offered.
Seeing people come back for tutoring sessions, I think the feedback that we get back from them is that this is a really positive experience and this was really helpful. So judging based on the comments that they make, it seems that they're happy about it and this is giving them good information.
It was really helpful. It was quick. You know, I got in, got out, got all the help I needed. You know, I'm taking the right places, so I got signed up for that really quickly. You know, if you have maybe like 30 minutes to spare, you know, you can get in, get out, and, you know, get all the help you need. Really easy.
I had Kendall, and she was like really, really good. Like, she knows exactly what she's talking about. She knows. I just came in here and I was like, I need help with this, and she helped me right away. I already knew she just read my paper and was like, you need help with this, and helped me with it.
I actually did come in here at one time. I had this really weird problem with having multiple quotations and trying to figure out how to punctuate it all within a sentence, and I came in here. And they were really helpful. It only took a few minutes, but it was very helpful.
Well, as a student working in the writing lab, I learned how to be able to go from, yes, I can read this sentence and I know there's something wrong with it, but don't ask me to tell you what it is because I can't. I just know it's wrong and I can probably fix it, to this sentence has a comma splice. A comma splice is, and this is how you fix it. So I learned how to articulate things more clearly.